Hello everyone, my name is Ronnie Fulton. I've been a professional woodworker for 12 years and a hobby woodworker over 20. And recently Festool sent me this new TSC 55 KEB saw and I was very excited to check it out, and I thought I would share on this video all there is to know about it and also share the differences in some of the previous models which I've had, let's see, this one I've had for 12 years, and I've gotten to see a lot of the changes over the years, and this one's got some really good things that I think you'll find really interesting. If you're watching this video, I assume that you're already familiar with track saws, but just in case you're not, I'll touch on the most important thing that I find about track saws that every woodworker should have in their toolbox. And that is they allow the saw to go to the work and not bring your work to the saw, like as a cabinet saw. A lot of times you have really heavy materials and it's a lot easier to just bring the saw over and cut when it's on a bench and not have to pick it up and put it to the saw. They're also extremely accurate. One of the biggest variations of the Festool saws is you have corded ones and you have battery powered. And then you have the HKC line, which allows you to put it on a track that it actually stays connected. You can set in a 90-degree cut or up to a 45. And the markers on here will actually allow you to do cross cuts without using a square. And then you have your TSC saws, like your 55. This is actually the first Festool saw. It's been dropped. It's the first saw that I ever bought. It's at least 12 years old, and it still works just as good today. Okay, the new TSC 55K saw comes in this sustainer, and inside, here's the saw. Has a bag connection for when you don't use dust collection with it. Comes the charger. And it also comes with the stop block and the splinter guard. All right, here it is, the unveiling of the saw. What we have with the new saw is two 18-volt, they're 5.2 AH batteries. You can run one for 18 volts and two for 36 volts for more power. And one of the most important features it has on it now is kickback stop. And what the kickback stop is the riving knife on the back is actually not a riving knife. It doesn't sit directly behind the blade. It's actually an electronic switch. And if it senses the saw is kicking back and jumping up, it instantaneously stops the blade. So here's a real life example of why I can appreciate the kickback stop. This is my original rail that I've had with the original saw for over 12 years. And this is a reminder to me of what happens if you don't have this technology. And this happened to me because I was in a hurry and I was trying to do a quick cut and I plunged down with the blade before the blade was up to rotation. And what happens is it actually jumps up and takes off like a car towards you. And my foot was right here. I was cutting near the ground. So I have this rail and it regularly reminds me, you can see where it went down and actually jumped here and jumped there and cut. So it's a very important feature to have. So flash forward to the technology today, when this goes down, if that was to jump up, it would instantaneously stop that blade and it wouldn't be able to come on towards me or my foot or my hand or my body. It is also possible to disable the kickback stop for a cut, like if you were using this without the rail. It automatically goes back within 10 seconds with the kickback function enabled. The blade change feature is exactly the same as the other saw. Something I noticed is the imperial measurement instead of metric. For those of you who don't want to change over to metric, which I'm still one of the holdouts. I also like how the adjustment works. One finger, you push it in and it has indentations, and you can lock that down. And same with the degrees. The nice thing about this track saw, like all the others, is when you cut on a 45, the blade actually keeps the same registration marks as when it's cutting on a 90, which is really nice. You can go by your splinter guard to where your line's going to cut. Another important feature that you wouldn't notice right offhand is that the kerf of the blade is actually thinner on the new saw. And what this does is allows you to get 50% more cutting time, cutting length, and battery power because there's less resistance against the material. With that cut, it's table saw quality, and you almost don't even need to sand that. It's so perfect. And just like the other track saws, I'm always so impressed with, you can use this with the dust collectors, but this little bag, especially when you're mobile, I'm just gonna pour this out. It's a pretty impressive amount of sawdust that it collects from the bag. So I think that pretty much covers the new features on the TSC saw that I find noteworthy. I look forward to adding this to my tool arsenal. For those who are wondering, I think June the 15th is the launch date. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to ask below. Thanks for watching.